your phones or put them on home. That'd be great, yeah, just in case. I don't know who's calling you at 8 in the morning or 8:30. Just a standard announcement. My name is Jim Barnes, and I run an organization called American Football Worldwide. We kind of promote opportunities for Americans mostly to go abroad and learn about other cultures and kind of network and have cultural exchange through American football. John Roslин's here from Global Football, do similar things. So anyways, been able to assist the AFCA. I coached for 25 years, NCAA Division III, 16 as a head coach, and got involved with my team going abroad, and the last several years been able to help in, at the request, assist the AFCA in pulling together a little speaking agenda for international coaches that are here, but also for American coaches that have an interest in serving abroad, and anybody that's trying to promote this great game and all the benefits that it can provide to people internationally. So the PBS code for those that are keeping track of that for this session is MTNK1, MTNK1. Okay? Our first speaker is a young man, Mzuri King, who's currently the Foreign Affairs Director for Skyway American Football Academy in China. Skyway currently has 12 Youth American Football Academies throughout China. It's catering to those ages 3 through 13. In the past, athletes who have had opportunities to train with NFL players, or their athletes have had a chance to train with NFL players in Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy. A focal point for Mzuri and Skyway is not only player development for athletes, but expanding in the coaching development that takes place in China as well. Okay? Please join me in welcoming Coach Mzuri King.
All right, guys, good morning. Once again, my name is Mzuri King. I thank you for being here this morning. I would also like to thank the AFCA, Mario Price, and also Jim Barnes for giving us this opportunity and this platform for us to share all the exciting things that we have going on in China. I would also like to say hello to the Skyway family by saying Dajun Hao, Tian Qing Dajun. So the theme for today will be connecting dreams. And it's the idea how you have your individual aspirations and how that can be in alignment with something bigger than yourself. So Skyway Youth American Football Academy was established in 2015 by 4 founders. The first guy is Jack Ching, he's our CEO. Then we have our executive CEO, Ray Wong, and our COO, Jonathan Jong, also known as Jay-Z, and no, he's not the rapper, for anyone that's curious. And then we also have our CFO, who's CY Pump. And my name again, Mzuri King, and I'm the Director of Foreign Affairs. So as Mr. Barnes has shared, we do have, 11 academies, 10,000 kids nationally, catering to ages 3 to 13 years old, offering a flag and tackle component for all of our athletes. Now our mission is to combine American football with Chinese culture to promote a healthy living environment, also socially, mentally, and physically. We believe in doing so, our athletes will be able to reach their highest potential. So Skyway then to now. In 2015, or at least at the end of the year, we had a total of 500 athletes nationally. In 2016, we actually made history by having the first American football regulated size field in all of China. It's called the Guangdong Foshan South China Center, also known as the Foshan Skyway Center. In that same year, we, in 4 cities, opened up 10 campuses nationally that increased our enrollment to 2,000 athletes nationally. In 2017, we opened up 3 more campuses that increased our enrollment by 40%. In doing so, this enabled us to have our first Skyway Bowl, again also known as the Pop Warner Super Bowl, for lack of a better term here, and it was divisions U7 all the way up to U13. So here's just a picture showing the Guangdong Foshan South China Sea Center. Just to give you a little background, before we actually had this field, it was nothing but gravel. And before that, it was actually a lot of factory buildings. So it's just great to see that we've been able to transform this area. If you're not familiar with where Foshan is, it's in the southern part of China. So this field, like I said, it's an American football regulated size field, so it's 120 yards long. This area here now has businesses. So not only are we catering to the kids, but from an economic standpoint, we're bringing more business to Foshan. So I'm sure you're curious about how I had this opportunity and how my aspirations became in alignment with something bigger than myself. So once again, my name is Mzuri King. I'm originally from New York. I'm a Ravens fanatic, as you can see at the bottom right. Originally, I thought that we would be successful in winning, so I wanted to come up here and say, yeah, we're going to the chip, but unfortunately we lost, so congrats to the Titans. But anyway, I started playing football as early as 6 years old, and in doing so, I continued to play through high school and had the opportunity to play on a collegiate level, D2 level actually, at Fairmont State University as a DB in Fairmont, West Virginia. After I graduated in 2014, this gave me the opportunity to then think about what would I do post-college, right? And I'm sure that this is something that we all can relate to and wanting to continue to spread the game. And the closest thing to doing that, if you're not playing, is being a coach. So what I decided to do after graduation was volunteer for a local league where I was living at the time. And I definitely always had aspirations to be abroad. I think that I really realized that when I decided to go to school in West Virginia, especially coming from New York. It was definitely a lifestyle adjustment, but it was positive, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. Before I made the big jump, I tried to research as much as I could about China, but there was nothing that could equate to what the experience would actually be like once I was there. Now, before Skyway started, I actually had another opportunity that landed me in Shanghai. And at this time, again, with me wanting to be close to the game, I started searching, asking around if there were any leagues that I could potentially be a part of. And I came across a team called the Shanghai Titans. You can actually see at the bottom left, they're the blue team. They're part of the CNFL, which you'll also probably hear more about later on. They're a semi-pro league that started in 2013, and they now have 60 plus teams competing nationally. So after having the invite, by Datong, hello Datong, I had no idea that the GM of Shanghai Skyway would be also at this practice. Now, to this day, this guy, Jin, he's a good friend of mine, so I also want to say hello to him. Legend has it that we went head to head in the Oklahoma drill. And obviously, I feel like I won. To this day, we debate. But anyway, at the end of the practice, it was a situation where he invited me to be a volunteer for Skyway. They had just opened. And again, with me wanting to be close to the game, I said this would be a great opportunity, not only for me to extend my reach and share my experience as a collegiate athlete, but also share with people back home. Like, hey, this is something that you can do too. So after a few successful practices, I was offered a full-time opportunity to be a head coach with the company. Now, as we continue to expand in Shanghai, it was a situation where I took on the responsibility of being the coach manager. And then as we continued to expand nationally, I was appointed the position of being the foreign affairs director for the company. Now, as much as I don't like talking about myself, to be honest, I'm definitely all about team. I do take pride in saying that I brought the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy to China for the first time, and also was a part of the Skyway Pro Bowl Dream Tour, which I'll get into a little later. But that's enough about me, and let's get back to Skyway. In 2018, which is 2 years ago, as you see here, we have the commissioner, Richard Young from NFL China. In the middle, he might look familiar, that's Russell Wilson. And then on the right, we have our CEO, Jack Chin. And this was actually an event to officially make it a situation where Skyway had the exclusive rights to be the host for the NFL flag tournament. Now this athlete to the right, his name is Ryan Shaw, and he's someone that I'm pretty sure you'll hear more about as he continues his career as a football athlete. He's 10 years old, very elusive. Now our NFL Athlete program. This is another initiative by the NFL that we've taken on as being their strategic partners. Just to give you further background about this program, It was established in 2003 in China. Another fun fact is 2 out of the 4 founders that are part of Skyway were actually the first coaches of this actual program. So the point is to not only expand the game, but also to give more energy and knowledge and resources for those athletes who are interested in not only playing, but coaching. So you may ask yourself, as much as we are having success and we're growing the game in China, do we have any initiatives that would allow us to not only give our kids the opportunity to be abroad, but for them to compete? And the answer to that is yes. Over the past 3 years, we've sent our kids, 10 to 15 kids, to the Pro Bowl, and we've coined this as the Pro Bowl Dream Tour. Now for this tour, not only are we giving them the opportunity to compete, but we also want to give them exposure to American culture. So a situation of how most of us have grown up as being Americans, right? What is that like? And we all love entertainment, so we definitely add that aspect too. We give them the opportunity to go to Disneyland and also meet NFL stars from the practice that they might have during the Pro Bowl. And the last thing, which is also very important, is we give them educational exposure. So we do campus tours. U4 and U5, our main focus for this group is to emphasize physical education, also give them the opportunity to work with a foreign coach, because believe it or not, as much as China has 1.3 billion people, it's a situation that I can attest to that every day, I've never seen the same local person twice, not unless they lived in my community. So again, it's a great opportunity to bridge that cultural gap. For U6 and U7, this is really where we put more of an emphasis on the positions, a lot of skilled positions, also basic techniques to really get them ready and prepared for them to enter the U17 flag division that comes up. Now for U17 flag, this is the youngest division that's eligible to compete for our national league that we have to win the Skyway Bowl. And we also want to make sure that we give more of an emphasis on competition. So really kids understanding how to work as a team to be successful. Now U8 and U9 kind of varies based on city. I would say in Shanghai, we're fortunate enough to actually have all of these divisions, but maybe in a city where we started a little earlier, it's a situation where they might have U8 or U9. Now for this division, this is where we just add the line aspect to the game. Our coaches are definitely more hands-on on the field, making sure that players are in a position to not only be safe, but for them to be successful on the field. Now our U10 division, all the way up to U15, our coaches are definitely more hands-off at this time, or at least this level. They're able to understand not only the game, but how things work, from a game standpoint. Now our annual outlook, we definitely follow the traditional way of having an in-season and an off-season. So for the end season, we have our spring league, and this is a good opportunity for coaches to really see what their team looks like. If there are new athletes that are coming maybe from U7 to U8, or they're just moving up in their division, the coach is able to see how they can fit into their system, their scheme. Now for our national camp, and that's something that I'll also speak about a little later, this is an experience for all of our top athletes, and it gives them a chance to not only travel in China, but for them to compete against other athletes that are at other academies to really see where they are. Now for our fall league, this is probably the most important time of the year for us. Not only is it a situation where you have your city league, we also have the Skyway National League that I keep talking about, and this is really, really an awesome situation that I'll also share a little later. Now for our off season, the winter, I would say that probably hinders us the most, especially in Shanghai, Beijing. If you're in the south, it's usually the summer, because it either gets really too cold or it's just too hot, right? So we definitely want to make sure that our kids are safe in that aspect. And also during the summer, this is where we'll do our Pro Bowl Dream Tour, also any exhibition games that we'll potentially have in the future. And also a lot of kids are traveling at this time. So again, these are the off-season times for us. Now for our national camp, I really like the fact that these 4 pictures really show growth. And that's something that I'm definitely proud. We're all proud to have this opportunity, not only to have the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy, but also Lee work with us throughout the years. So in the first picture, as you can see, we've only had 10 athletes attend our national camp. The following year, we had around 30 athletes attend. Then the next year, we had 50 athletes attend our national camp. And then just this past year, we had close to 100 athletes competing again on a national stage for them to have the opportunity to expose not only their talent level, but also represent the city that they're from. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, one thing that I was definitely proud to see, especially this year, we had representation from different academies, not only just Shanghai. I would say our first year was definitely Shanghai heavy, and that doesn't really show the growth in the game with our business. So in the top left, you can see that this is our U7 team, and they have this amazing athlete. His name is Max, also known as number 71 for some people back home. And he had 4 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 1 receiving, and it was just exciting to see. I mean, he's 1 cut and he's gone. Now in the top right, this is our U10 champions, and this is the Shanghai Sonics, and they've actually three-peated. So this was a historic moment for them. And also, if there are any organizations that are interested in potentially doing an exhibition game, this is one of the teams that I would love for us to talk further about, and that's something that we can talk about at the end. Now, in the bottom left, this is a cool story. So you actually have Coach Leo, who was also a mentee of Coach David in Shanghai, and it was a situation where they went head-to-head for the chip. And you know, after going back, having playful banter, Coach Leo was able to be successful in winning. So congratulations to him. In the bottom right, these are our U15 All-Stars, and this comprised of the Shanghai Reapers, which is a full team, and you also have the Guangdong All-Stars, which comprise of 2 academies. Population-wise, you're looking at 1.3 billion people in China. The transportation-wise is definitely very, very convenient, cost-effective, and that's something that you can definitely benefit from. Entertainment-wise, as a foreigner, there's always something that you can get into, no matter what day of the week it is. There's definitely a strong expat community, which I'm really appreciative about.
An opportunity by Pete Shinnick, who just won the national championship with Florida, to GA for him at the University of North Carolina. From there, I went on to Point University to do running backs, receivers at Greensboro College, and then quarterbacks, and then head up their JV program at Methodist University. So kind of like with that story and our connecting dreams type deal, I realized that when I was coaching like my little sister, she's 11 years younger than me, coaching her through basketball and volleyball when she was little, realizing that I may have had really good success at the D2 level and D3 level with Heisman, or not Heisman, but Harlan Hill candidate, a guy who led the NCAA in receiving, and then a quarterback who broke every record in school history, that the college game isn't really what was making me happy. What was making me happy when I was coaching like my little sister, seeing those athletes at the younger age, that aha moment, when you're coaching them and they're not really understanding what you want them to do, and then they figure it out. That aha moment you see in their eyes. That's what selfishly makes me happy as a coach. And then with football, getting to spur my love of the game, I mean, it's the greatest game that was ever invented. I mean, where else can you find 11 people that have to work together to a common goal to accomplish what you want to do? So like Coach said, I met him in 2017 at the convention in Charlotte. No, 2018 at the convention in Charlotte. When I was wanting to get into the international game, met Coach Buffalo when I was at UNC Pembroke. Was a international player, international coach, and he was the one who kind of like gave me that idea of spreading the game to other countries and to other cultures. So, like I said, I'm from North Carolina. I'm from a 3-stoplight town. We only have 3 stoplights. It's because they put in McDonald's to add a new one. So for me, moving to a city like Dongguan, which in comparison, you have like Shanghai, Beijing, that's kind of like your New York City and your LA. Dongguan would be more like your Houston, as far as size-wise. Or as, not size-wise, but comparison-wise. This fall, We actually were upgraded into what was going to be a Tier 1 city, so now we're on the same level as the New York and the LA's. Also with that, they gave us the opportunity to have like city awards sponsored by the government. Meeting new people and meeting people not just in the expat community, but also in the local government through football. I was very honored and very blessed to have been given the Foreigner Excellence Award. They selected 10 foreigners in the city of Dongguan, and myself was able to, very fortunately, be able to receive that award. That's the top left photo. Now, with lifestyle difference, like I said, 3-stoplight town. When I first moved to Dongguan, I was like, I want to live as close as possible because I don't know the language that well yet, so I don't know how to transport myself. Whether it's through subway, whether it's through taxi. We have DD, which is similar to the Uber and Lyft services. So I live legitimately right next door. So our main Skyway Center in Dongguan is on the roof of a 3-story like shopping restaurant complex. It's actually a very cool facility. And I lived in the apartment complex right across the street. So we had a meeting or class. I could literally crawl out of bed, hop in a shower, and walk to work and be there in 15 minutes with the travel time. That's including the shower and everything else. It was really very convenient. Since then, I've moved a little bit further away to got a girlfriend, so got a little bigger apartment type deal. So moved a little further away, but I'm still only a 10-minute bike ride. And you can talk about the convenience. They have the bike sharing apps. You scan on your phone, bike unlocks, and you're talking about like 2 cents to rent a bike every time you use it. So it's very, very convenient. Also with the subway, the traveling. So keep going on as far as the spread of the game and how it kind of works. Like Coach was saying with the age breakdown. Our little kids, our 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, our main job is to work on their physical education through football. And then as they get older to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we take that football skill and work it into a competition aspect. And then my job as a foreign head instructor for my city is to not only teach the kids, but also my main job is to teach the coaches. How can I make sure that when it's my time to leave or transfer to another city, are they comfortable enough teaching the game to the kids? And that's my main responsibility, and that's what I love to do. As far as the kids, I mean, we're in China. They have no introduction to football. If they want to watch a game, they're waking up at 1 a.m. in the morning to watch a game. Or a game's going on at Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, the Thursday night games. They're normally in school. So like we are the only introduction to football. So as much as that is a curse, it's also a blessing. They have no bad habits. So you're working on a blank slate, a clean canvas. So you're able to teach them the correct ways from the ages of 5, 6, and 7, all the way to 13 or 14. Now you're talking about like the only thing we do is coach little kids. That's not all there is to it. So in a lot of cities, Coach was talking about the CNFL. Unfortunately, my city in Dongguan, we don't have a team. But Guangzhou, Foshan, Shenzhen, they're all within 30 minutes to an hour to me, to where I still have the opportunity to coach college level, adult level kids if I chose to do that. There's also opportunities to still play for these teams if you're interested in not only just coming there to coach, but if you want to continue your playing days as well. And then I want to thank Coach for the opportunity to come up here. Thank the AFCA for giving us the opportunity.